Alright everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. So the lads are back. They've had the first pre-season game and they've came away with a 3-1 win against lower German opposition. In today's video, we're going to have a look at the players who didn't make the trip across to Germany, and then we'll take a look at the first team in the first half, and then the team was completely switched in the second half. We'll take a look at that. Then we'll also touch upon about players who were missing due to injuries, niggles, and more of a serious injury as well, and why Sandro Tonali didn't play. Let's get going. Right, hello everyone, hope you're doing alright. So let's get to it then. So let's start with the players who didn't make the trip. Of course, the lads have been out there for almost a week now, and we'll go through. So players not available, we'll start with the international players, which we'll all know Anthony Gordon didn't barely get a kick, but obviously he's been given some rest time. Same as Kieran Trippier, same as Martin Dubravka and Fabian Schär. All of those were involved in the Euros. We know about Bruno Gomes and Miguel Almiron in the Copa America, so they've been given extended time off. Lewis Miley, who's got that injury, should be back hopefully the next couple of months. Jamal Lascelles long term and Sven Botman long term. So those guys obviously didn't go to Germany, but it is what it is. And of course, Isaac Hayden and Ryan Fraser have been banished from training with the first team. So we're playing against, and I'll be careful how I say this, and apologies about this, SpVgg, that's the initials for something, I don't know what it is. Unterhaching, I want to say, or Unterhaching, if that's what you want to call them. It's a third tier German side that Newcastle played again today at Adidas HQ, which is a marvellous venue. We've seen interviews all week with Darren Eales, Paul Mitchell, Eddie Howe. We've seen it with a couple of player interviews as well, and obviously the lads from Sky being over there. We've had the written press have been over there as well in the club interviews with Dan King interviewing them all, as I say. But yeah, great to say it, because God, I don't know how you feel, but without football, I mean the proper club football, like it's not a big secret. I didn't give a about the Euros, but it's good to see. It's absolutely brilliant to see the interviews. It was just like, oh, it's nearly there. Hull next weekend, of course. We'll talk upon the friendlies in a second, but let's get to it then. We'll have a look at the starting 11 that Howe went with. So it was your usual formation that Eddie Howe likes to play, which is a 4-3-2-1, or some people might say it's the good old school 4-3-3, whichever way you want to look at it. So it was Nick Pope in goal, I think, and it's not confirmed, but I think Jamal Lewis played right back. Emil Kraft was the right centre back, Dan Burns centre back, and Lewis Hall left back. And then you had the midfield three of Joe Linton, Sean Longstaff, and Joe White. Big pre-season for him, by the way. Jacob Murphy on the right, Harvey Barnes on the left, and Alexander Isak up top. So we scored 3 goals in the first half. Barnes cut in from the left and fired home his usual cut in, fires home after 5 minutes. 2-0 after 24 minutes. Longstaff played to Barnes, who assisted Murphy to score. So Barnes has got up to a great start in this game. And then we've seen Alexander Isak hit the bar, and then a little bit later Isak scored 2 minutes before the break with an absolute lovely finish. Of course, there's no official highlights as of yet at the time of this recording, so we are going on the match report. So even I haven't seen them, just being honest with you, not pretending that we're in the know or anything daft like that. Half time then came, and then he completely changed the 11. Only one player in Ben Parkinson had any experience in competitive football. He was brought on against Bournemouth away from home last season, just after the Dortmund game. But Vlacho Dimos was great to see him in goal. Obviously, the new signing from Forest, he'll obviously be a backup keeper, depending on what happens with Martin Dubravka. We expect him to leave, but he should be number 2 this season. And then it was a completely under-21 side. Jamie Miley, obviously Lewis's brother, across over there. We're seeing Heffernan, who signed last summer, played centre back alongside Ellis Stanton, and then Leo Shahoe. Big things expected of him in the future. And then you see Johnny Emerson, Jay Turner-Cook, and Alfie Harrison in the midfield 3. The formation didn't change. Trevor Sanusi is another one to keep an eye on. Garang Kowal, so Eddie Howe's having a good look at him in pre-season, and of course I mentioned Ben Parkinson as well. So that was a complete 11 that had changed. We didn't score in the second half. We did concede a penalty. No idea on the match report who fouled or was handball. No idea. Couldn't tell you from it. It's very early on. No highlights as yet. And hopefully they do put highlights out as well, because it would be a shame if they haven't. But as I say, it was a much better display from the under-21s than it was when I was out in Australia, seeing 8 goals go past, which is a long way to travel to see that for the second game in the post-friendly, shall we say. But let's talk about players who didn't make it. Obviously, Howson Ashby didn't make it. I haven't seen anything online about him, why he didn't feature at all, because he would probably play it right back today. The big one, which we found out yesterday, Callum Wilson is injured, and I've seen one or two videos putting rants out and stuff like this, and I feel sorry for him, because I'm not going to have a rant about Callum Wilson. Newcastle need to go and fix that problem. That's where it lies for me. Callum Wilson, when he's fit, he scores goals. He scores 1 and 2. But the problem is, we've said it again and again, and it sounds like a broken record, is that he can't stay fit. That's the issue. So I think you need to either go and get a youngster who's happy to play 1 and 4 games, well, start 1 and 4 games, substituting the others, or someone coming towards the end of the career who's happy to play that role. Because we all know Alexander Isak is first choice. It's something that I think right wing is priority, but I do think a centre forward is probably looking like it needs to be the next second signing, I think. But yeah, he's got an injury and he's roughly going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks. He will miss the start of the season, which is a shame. So we're relying heavily on Isak, unless obviously you stick Anthony Gordon up top as well, who could do a job, but I'd rather have Isak, of course he would. Tino Livramento was not playing, of course. He's still working his way back, and this is according to Eddie Howe, directly from the horse's mouth. And Lloyd's Kelly absence, he was protected, he's fit, he's not injured. Some people are speculating on social media he's injured. He's not, he's fit. He was just protected, obviously joining a new club, in the environment, training. He just wasn't risked at all, but I think he'll probably feature in the next one. So no rush getting him back. Now, Joe Willock is fine, says Eddie Howe. Again, he's not injured, he's just working his way back to fitness. There's no injury with him, as I say, and it's also the same with Matty Targett as well. So both of those lads are just gradually getting back to fitness. So that's why they didn't feature. So not worry about that. The only issue is the Callum Wilson one. It's a big thing we keep talking about with more and more after now. Every couple of months it pops around where Wilson misses 3 or 4 games and Anthony Gordon's having to fill in, and we're relying a lot on Alexander Isak. So it seems to be a big thing that we'll keep talking about, and I think it will happen. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't think he's leaving. I don't want him to leave, but I do feel that we need a third choice striker. I think that's evidence is there now to suggest that. Now, according to Newcastle World, 2 things. They say that Sandro Tonali didn't play because the ban covers closed doors friendlies. So Sandro Tonali looks like you can't play behind closed doors. You can see the graphic on screen, the reason behind it, but it is a shame because I generally thought he would play in this game, in the first one. Obviously we've got the opposition wrong, of course. No one predicted we'd be playing a third tier German side. We all thought it was Burnley. More on them in a minute. But it's just a shame that Sandro Tonali can't play even closed doors. So obviously we'll play Spurs. I think it's the 1st of September. He's not going to be match fit, inverted commas. So as I say, I said this last week, we'll probably not see him properly until October, where you start to get a hell of a lot more running and potentially for a start. But we'll probably see him have a few substitute appearances. But it's nearly there. It's nearly there for Sandro to come back. But this is a small blow, I feel. A small blow. But it is what it is. But speaking of Burnley, the last thing I want to wrap up before we shoot off is the Newcastle World once again say we are playing Burnley, and it's on Wednesday. That's what they say. So keep an eye out for Wednesday that we'll play Burnley. I'll get another match report. Hopefully there's highlights by the time we do the video. And then of course on Saturday, which I'll be down Hull for you. And then the next day the lads are flying out to Japan, same as me. I'm off in the morning on Sunday, and I'll be bringing you all the content from Japan, from events which I'll be a part of, and just seeing the culture and the 2 games, of course, as well, and it'll be good. So stay tuned to that. And then we've got the Cellar Cup Friday and Saturday, which I'm again both at. So there you go. There's the wrap up. Couldn't tell you who performed well. Everyone had 45 minutes, but probably the positives are I don't believe there's any injuries from the game. Harvey Barnes looked fresh, assist and a goal. So yeah, and obviously them players weren't risks, but also and probably the whole week is more about bonding. We've seen them play daft games and having races in the swimming pools, basketball. There've been a lot of challenges set and a lot of bonding going on, which is brilliant, especially for the new lads as well. And of course, I forgot about John Ruddy, of course, who didn't feature at all. It's difficult when you've got goalkeepers. Gillespie didn't feature, of course, as well. So hope you have enjoyed that little match report, little gathering of the Germany event the last 24 hours or so. But there you go. The club will now switch back, and probably, I believe the friendly is at the training ground for Burnley. I might be wrong on that. But there we go. That's it from me, everyone. Drop us a massive like if you like that. Cheers, everyone. See you soon. Ta-da.